So if you've trained jiu-jitsu for any length of time, you know that sometimes you're gonna get your guard passed. It's unavoidable. Big strong guy like Jess, if he wants the guard pass, he's gonna fight pretty hard to get it, and there's a good chance he's gonna pass your guard. Obviously, we need guard retention strategies, we need guard pass prevention strategies, but equally important, maybe more important, is what happens after the guard pass. Can we pre-position ourselves in a way that, one, minimizes all of their offensive options, number two, keeps us from getting smashed and flattened out, and number three, gives us a reasonable chance of escaping? If we can get ourselves into that position, then it's not so bad when someone passes the guard. So let's check it out. Typical scenario, Jess is knee cut passing, and he wants the underhook. If I let him have it, now I've got problems here. If I continue to let him through, he cross faces me. Now it's even worse. I'm flat on my back. He's got chest to chest contact. He has his knees up against my hips and up in my armpit. I have very few options to move. This is the worst case scenario. We basically screwed up. Let's talk about the ideal positioning. There are a few things that we need to accomplish, but posture comes first. I don't want to be flat on my back. I need to be on my side at about a 45-degree angle. You know you're in the right spot when you can put your head on the mat and there isn't a huge gap underneath for the crossface. If I get too far on my side, there's a huge gap. So just enough to keep your shoulder up off the mat, keep the crossface more difficult. And now I need kickstands. The back kickstand in particular is what's going to keep me from getting driven backwards. And I need traction with my front foot, with the ball of my foot. We're on the balls of our feet, everything's engaged, and I'm positioned here for success. You'll know when your positioning is good when your training partners can put all their weight on your shoulder and you're able to comfortably hold them up into position. If I don't have the kickstand, he's gonna push me over. With a good solid kickstand, I'm not going anywhere. So now that our basic posture is sorted out, we need to deal with the arms. The top arm is the far side underhook arm. So I need to just lay it down. I like to actually cup my thigh and shut it completely. This is my real estate. I'm not gonna let my opponents get under this arm. Keep it absolutely shut. Now, there's some different schools of thought as far as preventing the crossface. I know guys like my friend TJ, who's a black belt, who he puts his head on the mat and it's like an anvil. You're not getting anything under there. Me, sometimes my head's not that heavy. So what I typically do is put my head on my bicep, glue my forearm to my forehead, and my paw is going to intercept my opponent's biceps. This is the position I want. You'll notice that there are no gaps, nothing underneath, nothing around, and I've got everything locked up. Now that we have our defense worked out, we need to be able to escape. There are two major patterns that we use to chain onto that structure to escape. The first one is the bridge. So we're in our basic position, regardless of where your hand is, and then the bottom foot comes up, I get traction on the mat, and then in one motion, I bridge up and out. Okay, basic bridge. In addition to that, oftentimes what we do is we rotate to our knees after the bridge. So we will bridge up and then rotate up. The second escape pattern involves throwing that back leg over, windshield wipering, and ending up in butterfly guard. It looks like this. We're in our basic position. I'm going to take the bottom leg, throw it up, bring my knee as high as possible so that I end up on my shin, And now I can windshield wiper over and end up in butterfly guard. Sometimes guys will get into this side control CASA sort of position. As long as we keep that underhook, if they try to move up to grab our head, we can always bridge and escape. Sometimes your opponents will jump to knee on belly. As long as I'm on my side, it's really not that bad. Now, one way that we can use this framed up structure to escape is actually to turn and go the opposite direction. It's the exact same position, only instead of blocking the underhook, I'm gonna cup the knee. And now at this point, I can bridge up to make my hips light and turn into him, and we're back to our original position. One of the benefits of this position being on your side is that it tends to dissuade your opponents from getting to mount. It just feels weird to come up and over when someone is on their side, but it does happen. The benefit though is that it's a longer journey and we're already pre-positioned to be able to hip escape pretty easily as they come up and over. So as Jess comes over, I'm gonna pull my arm out and find his hip, and now I can escape right away. Building your game on a defensive foundation is where it's at. Give those techniques a try and let me know what you think.